We're back at Warnerton, home of the European Late Model Series, and it's an intense time because we've had 3 race meetings in the space of just a couple of weeks. That means it's hard and challenging not only on the drivers but on the race teams and of course on the race cars as well. Now it's at this point in the season when the championship really can be won and lost. At the moment it's the guy behind us that's leading that championship table, the 2007 title holder. That's 07 Jean Vasseur. However, there's an awful lot of drivers knocking on his back bumper at the moment, as once again, we go racing.
And we are in position, gentlemen. We go to green now. We go to green now, gentlemen. Everyone keep the same speed. Keep the same speed.
That the voice of our race director, Roland van der Meers, who gives us the green for this epic race meeting at the Warnerton Speedway, which features 3 heats and a long final as well. And in this programme we feature the 3 heats, the qualifying heats into that final. And straight into the lead goes car number 5. Now car number 5 is being driven by Daniel Boys, who you will recall from some of the earlier programmes. Dan Boys was driving one of the Revolution Racing former SCSA AS-cars, but Dan Boys out in one of the Tony Roots racing cars today. Car number 5, he's leading the way, Dan Boys. So here then at the Warnerton Speedway, as the drivers settle down, already beginning to show, there's Wim Moonen in the all-yellow car. The green 77, Tony Roots then. And there is Andrews in car number 17 with Vincent Lehook alongside him. Not far behind Bertrand Zor and also Wim Moonen in the all-yellow 73 machine. There goes Tony Roots. Jos Janssen in the matte black treble 2, part of the Raptor racing team. But this is Bertrand Zor in car number 71. Blue with the red roof. There's our race leader going through. There's our second place driver, and Wim Moonen now into 3rd place already in the early stages of this European Late Model Series race. And a bit of a patchwork quilt of a car there, the blue and white machine of Xavier van der Meers, which has suffered some fairly extensive panel damage, which means it's a coat of many colours at the moment. There's Vincent Lehook in the car number 66, being tracked by Bertrand Zor in car number 71.
5, stay inside. Number 3. Number 3. Just stay inside. Keep the same speed.
Oh, and a spin there for Jean Vasseur and Jos Janssen in car treble 2 and car 07. Now it looked to me as if Jean Vasseur just tried to get in on Jos, and there wasn't really a gap. Let's see it from a driver's eye perspective. The following Gary Ellis car has it on board, and as you can see, Jean Vasseur tries to cut in, but there wasn't really a gap there, and Jos Janssen had nothing to do but spin him around.
It seemed to me that there's slippery there inside, so must be a race incident.
So then, as our race director says, it's a bit slippery on the inside there, so that's down to a racing incident, nothing other than that, so no one will be penalised for that little excursion as 2 cars got very sideways. So it's Dan Boys who's going to lead them away. He's got Andy Andrews on his outside, Wim Moonen right behind him. Here's Gary Ellis, who's currently 7th. In 7th place. We get the greens once again, and the European late models, these huge V8 cars roar back into life. Xavier van der Meers nips past Gary Ellis on the outside, and it's fraught at the front. It's Dan Boys that's leading. Wim Moonen tries to dive up the inside.
Don't push it.
No gap for him there though. Vincent Lehook we can see in front of Gary Ellis. Jean Vasseur now on the inside in car number 07. But leading the way still it is Dan Boys in car number 5. One of the Roots V8 Racing hire cars that Dan Boys is in today. Tony Roots himself showing really well in car number 77. But the man that is trying to get through is Wim Moonen. And Wim Moonen has done it. Into the lead he goes. So the Dutch driver, former Lightning Rod champion, leads this Heat 1 here at the Warnerton Speedway. Back on board we go with Gary Ellis, who's back down in 6th place. With Xavier van der Meers, Tony Roots, Bruce Andrews to his outside. It's a tight pack here, and Jean Vasseur trying to find a way through in the 0-7. And once again,
yellow.
Jean is round.
Slow down, 07.
And again, it looked like
spin
Jean was
below.
just trying to get into a gap that wasn't there, and Gary actually went nowhere. Jean, here we go, we can see it again. Jean just turns himself around effectively and spins himself out.
Gentlemen, we did only 10 laps, so 10 laps remaining.
So as race director Roland van der Meers tells us, just 10 laps left of racing. So Wim Moonen then has got it all to do as he's got this charge of cars on his back bumper as once again we go green, and let's see what happens. Is Wim Moonen going to hold on for the win? Dan Boys is on his outside. You've got Tony Roots right behind him. Tony Roots trying to get into second place. Xavier van der Meers pushing hard as well. But Wim Moonen has got away nicely. We can see Xavier now giving that V8 everything he possibly can. Dan Boys sticks to the high outside line. Gary Ellis tucked up on the inside as well. Whilst all that's going on, Wim Moonen making haste his escape to take hopefully a race victory here at Warnerton Speedway. So Xavier is alongside Tony Roots now, opts for the outside. That lets Gary Ellis through. Tony Roots currently in second place in the all-green car, number 77. Xavier van der Meers outside there. Gary chops to the outside as well. We're counting down the laps in this Heat 1 at Warnerton Speedway, which is being led by Wim Moonen. The all-yellow car, 73 of Wim Moonen, as Gary once again dives up the inside.
5 laps to go, gentlemen.
Just 5 laps remain in Heat 1 of this European Late Model Series of the Warnerton Speedway, the Fast and Furious Warnerton Speedway. And Gary Ellis now through into third place. Tony Roots we can see in front of us, he's currently second. Xavier doing everything he can to try and get past Gary Ellis, and all the other drivers trying to have a pop as well. It really is close, frantic, exciting racing. It's what the European Late Model Stock Car Series is all about. And look at this, Jean Vasseur around the outside, again he goes. Holds his line and manages to get past Gary Ellis. Now you have to wonder whether Gary Ellis maybe sustained a little bit of suspension damage as he turned, or rather Jean Vasseur turned himself around on his right-hand front corner earlier in the race, because Gary ordinarily just wouldn't let anyone pass if he can help it. So Tony Roots second then, and then this battle between Xavier van der Meers and Jean Vasseur is for third place. And they are absolutely neck and neck as they propel those V8 machines for all their work around the Warnerton Speedway. Wim Moonen really has disappeared into the distance, and there he is with just one lap left to run. For Wim Moonen, for Tony Roots, for Jean Vasseur, for Xavier van der Meers. This will be a good result for Wim Moonen, who's been playing around 4th and 5th in the championship table. His hand is out of the window aperture, and he throws the flame out of the exhaust. Absolutely delighted with that race win. Wim Moonen then takes it, and takes it in fine style. What an excellent opening heat for this European Late Model Series. Wim Moonen then taking the win. Second, Tony Roots. Third, Jean Vasseur. Xavier van der Meers 4th. Gary Ellis 5th. Jos Janssen 6th. Dan Boys 7th. And Vincent Lehook in 8th. There's many ways to arrive at a racing circuit, but hey, there can't be many better than a Lamborghini Murcielago. Sadly, it's not a TV presenter's car, it's a racing driver's car, and a new driver to this series, and that's Philippe Keulemans. Philippe, welcome. Now, I'm given to understand that you're involved in Lamborghini in some way.
Yeah, I'm involved for Lamborghini in Brussels, in Luxembourg, in Brussels. We have a shop over there, and we sell Lamborghini.
Okay, and you've arrived here, I'm told, having not turned a wheel in terms of racing experience. You've not been a racing driver before, but you came and you took part in the racing school and impressed everyone so much. You're out here actually taking part in the championship today.
Yeah, I tried last Friday to drive here, and so I had a small exercise, a complete day. It was very fun, and yeah, at the end of the day, it was okay. I feel very comfortable in the car, so I said, yeah, why not try to participate on Sunday on this race? So here I am.
In between races, there's always lots of action. The paddock is awash with people repairing their cars, ready to go racing, and we're back with that action after this break. Earlier on, we met Philippe Kerlemans, who's a new addition to the European Late Model Series. So impressed in a training day that he's actually competing in the championship now. And he's yet another one of the Raptor racing contingent. And there appears to be another competition going on, Anton, and that is who's got the best bit of equipment to arrive at the racing circuit. We've seen you with your Aston Martin, of course Philippe here with his Murcielago, and blow me down, you now arrive on a BMW motorbike.
That's because it's raining, actually, because I don't want to take out the Aston when it's raining. No, it's not true. There is no competition going on next to the track. On the contrary, it's just always nice to arrive on a racing track with a nice car. It goes together.
Okay, now I think it's fair to say that you invited Philippe along, and he took part in the training school, was hugely impressive. Did you expect that?
Actually, no. People are sort of too impressed when they get to meet the late models for the first time to make a good drive. And this guy who we've been driving on motorcycles in the desert with seems to be not impressed and seems to achieve rather well for his first time. I'm impressed this time.
We are ready to go to green. We are ready to go to green. Green, 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 green.
Oh, hang on a minute, Roland. Christoph, our race starter, wasn't quite ready. He very nearly dropped the green flag on the track rather than waved it. But we're away now. This is Heat 2, the European Late Model Series here at the Warnerton Speedway, as we go back on board with Gary Ellis, who very nearly shunts into the patchwork quilt car of Xavier Van der Meersch. But we are away and racing. There once again is Dan Boys in car number 5, driving one of the V8's Roots V8 racing school cars, and driving car number 3 in this particular heat, and again in one of those European late model hire cars is Sergej Blankhart in the all black Roots V8 car number 3. To his outside is Bruce Andrews.
Number 5, stay more inside, number 5.
Gary Ellis chomps in behind Sean Vasseur. This for the lowly places back down there in 9th, 10th and 11th at the moment, as the rest of the field right out there at the front, and a bit of a battle going on there with Sergej then and Vincent Lehook, and also the veteran racer Andy Andrews in car number 17. Bertrand Zor also in there in car 71. That's where the action is, right at the front of this European Late Model Stock Car Series race here at the Warnerton Speedway. Tony Roots again showing very, very good in the all-green 77 car. Back on board we go with Gary Ellis. And we hear that accelerator pedal being wedged through the floor of this car as he gives that V8 everything he does. Give it everything and spins it around in a perfect 360.
Yellow, 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 turn 4, turn 4, slow down.
So the yellow's out then for Gary, who did execute a perfect donut just when he didn't want to, really.
66.71.
It was me mentioning just how hard he was pushing that throttle pedal, and just a wee bit too hard, perhaps, as Gary lost the back end. Uncharacteristic mistake, and we can see here just whop, around it goes. These cars, temperamental beasts to drive, with huge, huge brake horsepower under the bonnet. So then, the field regroups for the resumption of racing for this Heat 2. Jos Janssen in the matte black treble 2 car, we can see there's currently in 6th place. As away we go, the greens are back out again. Gary right at the back now has got to power his way through the entire pack to get into the podium places. At all times we carry the instructions from our race director, Roland van der Meersch, as well. As Gary really is. Look at this pack of cars, absolutely not the width of a cigarette paper between any of them. It is fraught and frantic out there. But into the lead goes Andy Andrews then in car number 17, the veteran racer, with Bertrand Zor in 2nd place and Vincent Lehook now in 3rd. Sergio back there down into 4th now, and coming under some pressure from Sean Vasseur and Xavier Van der Meersch. Previous heat winner Wim Boonen back down in 9th place at the moment. Xavier Van der Meersch looking very, very good in that patchwork quilt car. And look at this, Gary Ellis right from the very back of the grid following his spin. He's powering once again his way through the pack. As to is Xavier Van der Meersch. Xavier 4 or 5 car lengths in front of Gary Ellis at the moment. So the white line, which has been repainted, is so very, very important our race director telling Sergio in car number 3, either you keep to the inside of that white line or you will be black flagged. Black flag would be disqualification, and that would be the end of this racing. The blue flag is being waved to just let drivers know there are faster cars that are trying to get past, and therefore you must hold your line. Now race control is here, and Speedway rule the discipline of racing with a rod of iron, and it shows with these drivers at phenomenal racing speeds with phenomenal power at their disposal, supremely well disciplined. So 5 laps left to run then, and Gary Ellis is right on the back bumper of Jean Vasseur in car number 07. Andy Andrews is still leading. So 95 then and 07 side by side. There's Xavier Vandermeer's just in front, 3 laps left to run. It's Andrews that leads, Bertrand Soros in second place, Vincent Lehouk is third, and Wim Moonen, look, with a gaggle of Raptor racing cars around him. Black and yellow looking really, really smart there. Again, Gary Ellis trying everything he can. Now, just Gary is an exponent of how to use this white line. Dives up the inside, and now he'll have to stay with that inside line until he has a gap to go back outside. He, of course, being the last car in that pack of 3, he's able to choose his line. And trying to decide which is the best line for him to try and get past Jean Vasseur. Goes from the outside. Jean has just got the edge. Gary really tries to make the power count and get the traction into the next turn. Not enough. Jean Vasseur has got the shorter way round. So Andy Andrews it is then that's coming under pressure in this, the last few yards of this race from Bertrand Soros, but Bertrand couldn't make it count. Andy Andrews, the veteran racer it is, that takes the win then in Heat 2 of the European Late Model Series here at Warnerton Speedway. Well done Bertrand Soros, brilliant show from him, and also Vincent Lehouk too. So the official results then, Andy Andrews, Bruce Andrews takes the win, Bertrand Soros second, Vincent Lehouk third, Xavier Vandermeer fourth, Jean Vasseur fifth, Gary Ellis sixth, Anton Gunnarsson seventh, and Wim Moonen 8th place.
Once again, all the years of experience came to play. No one was getting near.
Well, we just, take advantage of it. Back in the back, they were fighting for position, and I was out front, and that's one of the good things. But bad here, if you're tangled up in a bunch of cars, it's hard to pass.
Just as we close, Andy, track conditions been changeable because we've had showers today. Did it affect your strategy at all?
Oh yeah, from the first race, the track was very slick for everyone, and this race it was had a lot more grip.
Well, great to see the veterans hanging in there with the young guns.
Wim Moonen, bocht 4. Achter Tony Roots, behind the 77. And 95, go outside Xavier, outside the 19. Oh, yeah, 95, 19. Green, 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 green!
So the multilingual race director that is Roland Vandermeers then sends the cars away for Heat 3 in the sunshine here at the Warnerton Speedway. As once again our cameras on board the 95 car Gary Ellis on the outside of Xavier Vandermeers. Once again it's Dan Boys that thunders off into the lead for this, the 3rd heat on the banked oval here at Warnerton Speedway, right on the border of Belgium and France. The only place in Europe you'll see true NASCAR racing. And look at them power their way through. Once again on board we go with Gary Ellis trying to get the better of Xavier Vandermeer by using the wide, high outside line, and he's sticking with that. We've got Wim Moonen, earlier race winner, of course, took victory in Heat 1, and Gary will be right alongside him any moment now. Bertrand Soros is the car directly in front, that's car number 71. And look at that gaggle, that big pack of European late model cars. Bertrand Soros just has a moment there, gets it a little bit sideways, but keeps it all completely under control in car number 71. Jos Janssen in the matte black treble 2 is in front of him. 77, Tony Roots on the inside, sporting the GW&G Bridges car breakers logo down the side of his European late model, and Gary Ellis takes a wonderful move and gets through and eliminates a couple of cars in one hit. Brilliant driving from Gary Ellis in car number 95. So Vincent LeHook there, he's being hounded by Kelvin Hassel, also Jos Janssen, and look at Gary Ellis already up there into 5th and 6th places at the moment. This battle really in the early stages of this race. There's Dan Boys who's leading us away. Vincent LeHook is 2nd, Kelvin Hassel already up to 3rd. Then it's Jos Janssen, and then this guy, Gary Ellis, alongside Jos Janssen, trying to get on terms with Kelvin Hassel, and also Vincent LeHook in the orange and white machine in this European late model series. And straight on board with Gary Ellis as the battle continues. And Gary, where will he go? Wide outside now to try and get alongside Kelvin Hassel in car number 13. Can he make the outside line stick? Generally speaking, yes so. And indeed he does, just gets his nose in front of Kelvin Hassel. Jos Janssen right behind in car number 222. Now Vincent LeHook takes a look on the outside because he knows Gary's coming. Oh, Gary gets a little bit too far out there, and Kelvin Hassel is able to pull just a couple of yards on him. This really is a nip and tuck stuff here. Back straight they go. Then it's turns 3 and 4 at this Warnerton Speedway. 3 8-mile banked ovals. We see Dan Boys go through. Dan Boys leading the ray. A couple of the Raptor racing cars together there. But there is Gary Ellis in car number 95. Kelvin Hassel right behind him in car 13. Vincent LeHook driving a brilliant race at the moment, really defending his place against car number 95, Gary Ellis. Gary takes another look up the outside, but it's Dan Boys in car number 5 that is leading the way. In the Roots V8 Racing hire car, you too could be out here having a go in this championship if you so desired. So Gary Ellis then is going to reel him in now. Surely it's only a matter of time. So Gary Ellis, car number 95, and it's going to be Dan Boys in car number 5. He dives to the outside to try and get some extra momentum. Dan Boys keeps it nice and tight below the white line, and Gary is able to just power his way through in a perfect overtaking move. In this, the European Late Model Series, it's Gary Ellis then in car number 95 that leads. Dan Boys is 2nd in car number 5, and now Gary has got an absolutely empty track in front of him. He'll be able to put in some really good lap times. Already he's built up a lead of 5 or 6 car lengths in the space of just one lap. Absolutely magnificent stuff from Gary Ellis in car 95. Kelvin Hassel driving supremely too in car number 13, having a real battle with Vincent LeHook, and Dan Boys in there as well. Real and just almost a little bit of a touch there from Vincent LeHook on the back corner of Kelvin Hassel, but his driver's so well disciplined they know to let off most of it. So we're into our final lap then, and this is going to be the battle. This is going to be the battle for 2nd and 3rd place. Who's going to take it? Kelvin Hassel has got his nose in front at the moment, but Dan Boys will be desperate if he can to make it count. Gary Ellis it is then that takes the checkers. Who's going to get 2nd? Who's going to get 3rd? It looks like it's going to be Kelvin Hassel. Dan Boys then Vincent LeHook. Another astounding race from the European Late Model Series here at the Warnerton Speedway, where the win is taken by Gary Ellis. 2nd, Kelvin Hassel. 3rd was Dan Boys. Vincent LeHook, 4th place for him. Jos Janssen, 5th. Tony Roots, 6th. Anton Gollison, 7th. And Kurt Dujardin was 8th.
Gary Ellis, previous 2 heats, you've been boxed in. You even had a little spin, a little pirouette, Gary, but you just there was almost a presence about you in that race. You thought, I'm going to have this one.
Yeah, the second one, the track was very, very slippy, and I was just trying the outside, and that one, I just decided I was going to go through the hole. So,
as a racing driver, you see yourself in the car. Now, every racing driver wants to win every race they're in, but it just seemed almost psychologically there was something that you switched on and said, I'm going to have this one, come what may.
To a degree, but I need to try the car for the final.
And that big 75-lap marathon final is coming in our next program. Will Gary Ellis' strategy work? Find out next time we go European late model stock car racing.